Hello, just gonna jump into today's topic right off the bat. About a month ago, I was driving down the road, and to my right, I see a landscaping company, which of course is quite typical actually, since I live in Myrtle Beach. I see landscaping all the time, but this one caught my eye because they were filling up a hopper with fertilizer, but instead of doing it in a safe area, they were doing it right above a storm drain, which is kind of concerning because if anything were to spill, that's where it would end up. And this is why I believe that a policy needs to be enacted that fertilizer licenses need to become mandatory for professional landscapers of any kind. Right now in South Carolina, there is a few regulations on spraying and spreading, but not nearly enough. Often you can see landscapers putting various compounds on properties, and many times they do not know how to properly use or they'll lack the proper equipment for the safety of both themselves and the environment. Clemson EDU released information on needed licensing for the application of fertilizer here in South Carolina, copyright of 2018. There's a bevy of restricted fertilizers that do require a special license to purchase. But at the same time, there is still a vast amount that can be purchased without it. But why is this a problem? Well, common, easily accessible fertilizers such as the popular weed and feed, can typically be found as having up to 30% nitrogen. Improper use of this before rain, as in my example as well, can lead to runoff and pollution of waterways. The University of Nebraska did a research project on this in 2013, and they said that in urban areas, this can greatly cause a problem due to the product not being cleaned off of sidewalks, which during rain it runs down the pavement and into drains, and it gathers there and works its way into water. And also, many landscapers do not follow suggested rates, which can also cause a problem. Just because the bag says 2 ounces per 1,000 feet is good, does not necessarily mean that people will stick to that. If 2 ounces works, why not bump it up to 4 ounces or 5 ounces? Sure, they may think it'll save a trip in the long run, which maybe it will, but it can also cause major issues. I know regulations and requirements are very annoying, but these are chemicals that are being applied to yards, homes, and businesses. We must ask for the best. Right now, I can go into a garden supply store and purchase pesticides and herbicides, and most importantly, the fertilizers as well, many times without even getting carded. The improvement of this problem starts with education. The process of obtaining a broad license/permit requirement will help educate people to properly use and apply fertilizer. Basically, there should be about a 5-hour course required for any professional landscaper to take in order to become certified or licensed. This not only helps the environment, but it also helps those who are paying the landscapers to have a little more confidence in who they have hired. If a company can advertise that all employees are certified, it can also draw more business for their upstanding stance in professionalism and in taking care of the environment. This solution would benefit both parties as well as the environment. A good example of a state that has successfully used some of this regulation is Virginia. And on their website, licenselogic.org, they say, Virginia's regulations for the application of fertilizer for non-agricultural lands requires a certification for all licenses of state agencies, localities, and government entities engaged for the application of fertilizers and non-agricultural lands. Anyone who is desiring to get this certificate must successfully complete approved training and submit an online application before getting approved to receive this certificate. It is valid for 4 years, and I think it's a great model to follow. South Carolina needs to adapt some type of solution to fix this issue, especially considering how much landscaping and year-round development of housing properties and businesses occurs. More regulations must be implemented to protect the people and the environment down here.